Uh, Welcome to this lesson of Microsoft Word. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to work with shapes. Welcome to Ezone School of Computing. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our website is www.ezoneschool.com. Our email is info@ezoneschool.com. If you want to connect with us through WhatsApp, it's +256 772 111 223. And for those who wish to call us direct, you can call through +256 752 111 223. So we want to work with shapes in Microsoft Word. I do this because for now I want you to remember how to launch Microsoft Word. This was in our very first lesson. So we shall go to our start button, and then on our menu here we find Word. For those who don't have Microsoft Word here, you can scroll down this menu and you'll find Word somewhere here. So follow my pointer so that you know where we are clicking, and this will guide you how to go around with our lesson. So we are going to click on blank document like we've always been doing, and we have our Word, our Microsoft Word open. So how do we insert shapes in Microsoft Word? I hope you all remember that this area is the ribbon, and on the ribbon we have several tabs. We have the Home tab, the Insert tab, Design tab, and so on. But when we want to insert shapes, we shall go to the Insert tab. So here on this tab we have shapes here. Remember, go to the Insert tab, and then here on the Shapes tab you will find a drop down arrow, which when clicked you'll see several shapes here. So what you're going to do, you're going to choose a shape now, like let me choose a rectangle. I click on the rectangle and my mouse pointer will change to a plus. So you hold down your left button on your mouse and drag. So drag until you see the shape or the size of the shape that you want to draw. Don't release that button, don't release the left button until you're sure that that is the shape you need. So here we have a rectangle. I'm dragging until I get the right shape that I need. Okay, let's insert another shape. We shall go back to the ribbon and then go to the Insert tab. Then go down to Shapes, click on the drop down arrow, and then let us choose the oval shape. The oval shape, when dragged, will give you either an oval shape or something, or even, so we can even use the oval shape to draw a circle. We can also use the rectangle shape to draw a square. So let's go back to Insert and practice with other shapes. I can get a smiley here. So you click, the thing is, identify the shape, click on it, and then come to your Word window, this work area, hold down your left mouse button and drag. Don't release until you find the shape that you need. I'll draw a couple of more shapes here. So I choose, let me choose this. I have another shape. I'll go back to Insert, then Shapes. What else do I find? and let me draw an octagon. That is it. Then go back to insert shapes. There are several shapes, and I encourage you to practice with these shapes. Draw as many shapes as you can. Practice and practice and practice. This will make perfect. The ease with which I do this is because I've been doing this for a couple of years. So don't expect to be perfect on your first try. So practice as much as you can. So here we see that we have drawn 6 shapes. Now, a time comes when you feel the shape that you have is not the right shape that you needed. So you want to resize this shape. What will you do? One of the ways is you'll click on the shape. Like, let us click on this rectangle shape. It has 8 handlebars, a handlebar here, then another handlebar here, another one here, another one here, there, and there. So 8 handlebars. Every shape has those handlebars. Click on the octagon here, we have the handlebars. Let's click on this arrow, we have the handlebars here. Let's click on the smiley, we have the handlebars there. So what you're going to do, you're going to click on the shape that you want to resize. Let us assume you want to resize this rectangle. Perhaps it is too small. So you'll bring your pointer on one of the handlebars. In this particular case, I am hovering over the handlebar on the right. So I'll hold down my mouse button and drag. So you notice that the size of the shape is increasing. I'm making it bigger. If I want this shape smaller, I will still get to this handlebar and then drag left. So I'm making it smaller. You can even use other handlebars. For example, I have one here at the bottom. I can take this shape down. So in all this, what I'm trying to do is resizing the shape. You can even use this one, which will help you maintain the aspect ratio. The handlebars at the top right, bottom left, and top left. These help you. This can help you maintain your aspect ratio. So that's about the shape and resizing the shape. However, there are times when that was just one method of resizing shapes. The other method is by using fixed dimensions. For example, we know that making a perfect square is hard if you do it with your free hand. So you might have to use specific dimensions where we know that the length and width are equal. So let us assume we want to draw a square of 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. So you'll click on this rectangle, and then the drawing tools are activated. Follow my mouse pointer so to see where we are. Then you click on format, and then you notice here on the right, the sizes are not the same, meaning this is not a square. Your eyes might see it as a square, but when you look at these dimensions here, this is not a square. So you're going to click on the height, in this height, on the height, and then type 1.5. Then even the width, change to 1.5, and then press enter. So this is the perfect square. Let's try this with a circle. We have a circle here, and once again I tell you that I'll tell you that drawing a circle with free hand is next to impossible. It's really hard. So what you're going to do, you're going to use fixed measurements. So you'll click on this on your shape, particularly on this oval shape, which activates the drawing tools. Then you come to format, and then go to the extreme right, and let us assume we will need a circle of diameter 2.0 inches. So we shall change the width and height to 2 and then press enter. So we now have a shape. We have a shape, a circle of 2 inches in diameter. You can even change the position of these shapes. For example, if I clicked here, if I hovered over this shape around its middle, around the center, and then you hold down your mouse button and move the mouse button, you are able to move the entire shape. Let us move this arrow. So I'll click on this arrow, and I have four arrows on my pointer. So I'll hold down my left mouse button and then drag to change the position of this arrow. Practice this as much as you can, and in a few tries you'll be next to perfect. And now what you notice here is that every shape that we draw is filled with a blue color. So that's the default color that is filled with every shape that you draw. But that's on assumption that you haven't changed any default settings in your Microsoft Word setup. So what do we do if we want to change the color of this shape? Right, what you're going to do, let's click on a shape. I'll start with the square, so I'll click on a shape. So you see, because it has these handlebars, this shows you that it is selected. So you're going to right click on this shape, and then at the bottom of these options there is Format Shape. So click on Format Shape, which brings you another pane on the right, the Format Shape panel here. So we have two options. You can deal with the fill, what color or how is this shape filled, or you can deal with the outline of this shape. For now, we want to deal with the fill color. So you'll click on this arrow, which will give you several options here. So the color here, you notice, is blue. You want to change this, simply click on the drop down arrow and choose another color. So I chose red. So let us practice with more shapes. Let us click on this arrow. So you notice out of our 6 shapes, the arrow shape is the one that is selected now. Now you right click on that shape. We said scroll down to Format Shape, and then this brings another pane here, where under solid fill, and then under color, because it is blue and we want to change that, you'll click and then choose, let me choose green. So I have a green arrow. Let us try this one more time. We have our octagon here. We are going to click, then right click on the octagon, go down to Format Shape, and then under solid fill, choose a color here. Instead of blue, let us choose, you can even go to more colors. More colors brings you 2 options. There is custom and standard, and then you can say, perhaps let me work with purple. So you click on purple and then click OK. So we have our shapes with different colors. Our square is red in color, filled with red. Our arrow is filled with a green color. Our octagon here is filled with a purple color. So but then that's not all. You can even change the transparency of these colors. For example, let us click on this shape, then right click, Format Shape, which brings our panel here, and then it is red. What of the transparency here? You can adjust the transparency either by dragging this slider, which changes the transparency, or using these arrow keys here. You can increase or decrease. So this plays around with the transparency, and that is it. Then you can even change not only the color. You can fill this shape with a texture or even a picture. And how are you going to do that? Let us practice with a circle here. So you're going to right click on our circle, and then what we are trying to do is, what other options do we have when we right click on this circle? You are going to go to format shape, and then you can even choose no fill. So your circle doesn't have any fill, nothing. Let us right click on this one and try out format shape. Then instead of solid fill, you can choose a picture or texture fill. So when you click on picture or texture fill, you have the options. You can insert a picture here, or it will fill. It is filled with a texture. Let us try our smiley here. We are going to right click on our smiley, and then format shape, then choose pattern fill. So there are many patterns we have. You can choose any of these patterns. You can even change the color of the foreground to perhaps brown, and then even the background you can choose another color, perhaps a yellow color. So there are many things you can do with the fill. Now we have our shapes. This is filled with red color but with a transparency. This one is filled with green but no transparency. This with purple. This one has a texture. This one is filled with a pattern, and this one doesn't have any fill. There is nothing filled, and it's not even white. There is a difference between filling these colors with white. Let me show you this. If I got another color here, another shape, insert shape, and then let me choose that. I want to fill this shape here with a white color. So when I right click, like we've done before, format shape, and then color, I'll put white. With your eyes, you could assume that this shape and this shape are filled with the same color. Let us see what happens. If I drag this shape and drag it over my shape, this other shape here, you notice that you cannot see what is behind this shape because it is filled with a white color. Whereas this one here, if I dragged it and brought it, let me just put it, what should we do? I want to show you that it is not filled with, it's not filled with any color. I'll just draw, let me delete this and draw another one. Insert shapes, and then I'll put a circle. Then I'm going to right click on this shape. I can even use this option here and choose no fill. Now I want to drag this shape and bring it on top of this. So you see that this shape has no fill. That's why you are able to see what's in the background of the other in the background. While this one has a white color, that's why you cannot see what's in the background. Now there are cases where you don't want these shapes here and you want to delete them. So I'll click on a shape and press the delete key on the keyboard. This on your keyboard is the delete key. Remember that. So just pressing that will delete the shapes that you've selected. So I'll click this and press delete. Click on this one and press delete. Then I'll press on this one and also press delete. Now supposing I want 6 copies of one of these shapes. Let us try with the arrow. I have this arrow here, and I want 6 other arrows that are exactly the same. I am going to click on the shape, and then I'll use shortcuts. I'll press Ctrl and D. This gives me another shape. I can even drag it away and place it where I want. And let us go to the keyboard and show you this shortcut. This Control button here on your keyboard, and then the letter D. This duplicates a selected shape. Let us practice that. So I'll click on this shape, then Control plus D. I have another one here. Then I can click on any shape and then Control D. So this gives me a copy, or an exact copy of the shape that I want. So I'll drag it and place it where I want. Then sometimes you want these shapes to move together, as in all these shapes are independent. But if you want them to act as one block, you can click on this shape, then hold down Control, then click on another shape. While Control is still held down, click on another, and then click on another, and then click on another, and then lastly I shall click on this. So you notice that now you have 6 shapes that are selected. You can now release the Control button and then carefully right click on one of the shapes. You can right click on one of the shapes and then go to group and then choose group. So now these shapes, when you're moving it as one shape because you have grouped them. If you want to ungroup these, you'll still right click here, then go to group and then choose ungroup. You now have 6 isolated shapes. So that's about grouping shapes. Now I can move each of these shapes individually. If you have questions about shapes, please visit our website www.ezonschool.com, and you can chat with us through our WhatsApp number +256 772 111 223, or call us direct on +256 752 111 223. You can also go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share this lesson with colleagues such that they too can have at least a bit of this knowledge. Now we are going to I'm going to just have around 2 or 3 examples on where we use shapes in Microsoft Word. Here we've been learning how to insert the shapes, change the color of the shapes, and then group. Perhaps what I could have forgotten was the line of these shapes. When you look at this shape of ours, it has a thin line that is blue in color. When you right click on this shape and then go to format shape, we had this line option here. We hadn't explored this. When you can choose to remove a line by clicking no line. So your shape here doesn't have any line. But if you want to work with this line, you right click on your shape. There are also other ways. You can right click on a shape, go to format shape, and then let's go to line and choose what is the color of the line. Which color do you want? So you click on here under color. You click and choose, I'll use red, it's more visible. And then you can even change the width of this line. By default it's 1 point, but clicking on these arrows will increase the width of that line. You have more ways you can practice this. Let us use this purple shape and choose format shape. So we go to line, it's blue in color. Let us change this to perhaps this yellow color, and also change the width of this line. So as you increase, this line also increases in width. You can even play around with the type of line. You can put a double line. You can put, if you want a dashed line, and so on. Another thing is, perhaps I could have forgotten that in insert shapes, even a line is a shape. So I click and move. So I have that shape there. You can even go back to insert shapes and choose an arrow. So you have an arrow as a line, and you can change the width of this line. For example, here the width is 0.5. If you looked here, how do you get there? If you want to change the width of this line, it's by right clicking. So when you right click on that on a line, you get the option to to increase this width. So let us go straight to the examples. I'll start a new document. I hope you remember that pressing Ctrl+N while you're in Microsoft Word will bring you a new document. And then remember, when you're starting a new document, don't forget to decide the font size. I told you my Tahoma is my favorite font, so I'm going to type a simple number here, 1. Let me a simple question: which of the following is not part of the MS Office suite? Enter. Just for revision, I'll press tab such that I get to the beginning of the second tab. Let me press tab again, and then I'll put Word. So I'm going to press tab until I think I should put tab there, and then I type Notepad, and then I press enter. So I press tab again, and then I'll type Excel. Then I press tab until I'm just under Notepad, and then type PowerPoint. So I'm going to draw my shapes. Insert shape, I'll put a square. So I'm going to put a small square here. Now, I don't want any color in this square, and I want the color of the line to be black. So what do? You right click, then scroll down to format shape, and then I'll choose fill. I don't want any fill color. Then I go to line. I want the color of my line to be perhaps red, and then the thickness to 1.5. Then I click in my shape, in my Word document, and there I have my shape. Now, because I am going to use 4 similar squares, I am not going to draw another square. Otherwise, what another person will do will go back to insert shapes, then choose this, and then go through the hassle of drawing another square, which is not that is a very long process. So we shall delete this one, and then I'll go to my shape, and then Ctrl D. It gives me another shape. Then I will drag and place it where it is supposed to be. So we have 2 similar squares, and I'll click on this, and then again Ctrl D. So I have another square, and I'll place it at the right in the right position. Then I click here again, Ctrl D. So duplicating gives you the shape that you need, exactly like the original one. Then number 2, let me type solve the let me see, let me get another question. Shade the following Venn diagram. So we are going to draw a Venn diagram. A Venn diagram, let us use a Venn diagram with 2 circles. So I'm going to come to my oval shape here, click on it, and then I will choose my circle. I will right click on this shape, then go to format shape, and then choose no fill. I then for the line, I'll prefer that the color is black. Now I am going to use 2 circles, but I don't want to go through the burden of drawing this circle again. So like I said before, I'll click on this shape and then Ctrl+D. I get an exact copy of the circle. So here I have my 2 circles, and then I want to put a rectangle around this circle. So I'll go to insert shape and then choose rectangle. I'll draw over these circles to put my rectangle. Now because the rectangle is blue in color, it covers these circles over. So you right click on this circle such that, alternatively, even if you don't right click, you can go, when you click on the circle, you have the drawing tools here on your ribbon. Then you go to format and then choose shape fill. I don't want any fill. And then the shape outline, look here closely. I say I want the color in black. So there we are. We have our Venn diagram, and then we have our shapes here where we duplicate. So don't forget about duplicating. And finally, I'll show you how to insert text in these shapes. Now let's go to insert. Okay, we can even use these very shapes. If I right clicked on this circle and then chose add text, I can type the letter A, but this letter A is white in color, so I'll select it and then choose the font color A. Then I'll also go here, right click on this and then choose add text and then type letter B. But because the letter B is white in color and our background is white, I have to select. You have to be so careful when selecting, and then let us you are going to choose this and then go to home and then choose a black color for our font. Just let me repeat that. It could confuse you if you went to insert and then chose a shape. For example, this shape, and you want to add text. You could right click on it, or you could come direct here and choose this, and then you right click on it and add text, and then you type is the best. You can put a shape on your you can insert text in your shape. For this and more videos, please, we may not have exhausted shapes, but this give you a quick start. For the basics, these are enough for now. So please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to share this link with colleagues at work, with colleagues at home, and our learners. Please go to YouTube and subscribe to Ezone School of Computing. Our website once again is www.ezoneschool.com. Our email is info@ezoneschool.com, and then our WhatsApp number is +256 772 111 223. Or you can give us a call direct on +256 752 111 223. Thank you.